You are now tuning in to Kissed by Kirsty.
Hi guys, and welcome to my channel again. It is me, Kirsten T. Jackson, here with another video for you. Have you ever felt just stuck and you find yourself asking why? Why am I here? Why am I in this space? Go to school, they say. Get good grades, they say. And then when you graduate, you'll have the perfect job and as many job opportunities that you want, they say. Well, I'm here today to talk to you all about the realistics of being in college and preparing yourself for the real world, they say. So come with me on this journey of interviews with friends and family who are going to talk about their experiences both in college and out of school. So let's get ready for this ride, y'all. I'm here with one of my best friends, Elizabeth, Liz for short, and we're going to just talk about her college experience. So Liz,
yes,
tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey guys, my name is Elizabeth, Liz for short, like she said. That's the best though. I go to Bowie State. I'm 23 years old, July 29th. I'm a Leo. Get it right. I go to Bowie State. I am a bio major. It's pretty nice there. It's pretty nice. Come check out BSU. We rock. Because she knew what I was going to say. But it's okay. I'm going to pass that back to you, best friend.
So, Liz, what's your major?
Bio.
Bio. And was that your major going into school, or did you switch?
Actually, I did switch. I switched from nursing.
Okay, and what was your reasoning behind that?
Nursing, it wasn't for me. I know people love taking care of other people, and I like taking care of other people, but it just wasn't for me. Eventually down the line, I was like, no. I like physical therapy.
Right.
So I switched to that.
Okay. So do you feel like with your major now that you're making steps and improvements towards graduation?
I am. Even though it took me a minute to get there, because, I mean, they kind of have sort of the same classes, but eventually you go down a different route.
Okay.
So it's like you have to know what you want to do, and you have to know the class that you're going to take.
Right.
So,
with your whole college experience, explain some of that to us that are watching, because I know a lot of people on YouTube, they aren't college goers or they're not at the college age right now. So explain how first your college experience was.
okay. So in the beginning,
Or is, I'm sorry, is.
no, you're fine. In the beginning, my college experience was, I didn't really have a college experience. Why? Because I went to a community college.
Okay.
So it wasn't like going to a university, but I did go to one of my other friends' college a lot, UMD. Shout out to Temmie. Up there, I always got the college experience, especially as a freshman.
Okay.
So it was a lot of partying. She did work as well. I did my work, but we were always up there partying. This, that, third. Freshman year, got that out the way. Sophomore year, I was still at a community college. It wasn't until I became it was sophomore, junior year until I went to Bowie State. Bowie State, I guess it was kind of different for me because I was transitioning. So coming into Bowie State, it was like, wow, you're joining clubs, you're joining, SGA.
Right.
I did CSA, Commuter Students Association. And then there's people in sororities, fraternities, and I was like, oh, okay, this is different. This is really different for me. You got to get used to it. And people are staying on campuses. I stayed at home. So it was, it was a real big transformation for me. And I was like, okay.
Which honestly is the truth. Like when you have that freedom because I stayed I stayed on campus, but I was like an hour and a half away from home, so I didn't have a car, I didn't have a means to really get around the area, I didn't have a means to just keep going back and forth home and to school because I ain't have a car. I ain't had the money to take the train, take the bus, all that stuff. So it is a real culture shock when you have that sense of freedom, and it really tests your morals, your values, and then how you were raised. And it basically, I'm not going to say you fend for yourself, but it comes a time where your parents and what they instilled in you, it really does come into play, because then you're like, okay,
I really have to learn how to live on my own.
Right.
I have to learn how to buy food, cook,
right,
buy your own,
money manage, as well as do I go to this party or do I study for this test?
Yeah. And like if all your friends are telling you, let's go, it's like, oh.
So it really tests on, you know, your morals, values, and then basically I'll say a lot of people like miss the real reason why they're in school.
Yeah.
Like, because I know it's so easy to get jaded. So it's so easy to say, oh, let me study for this test because this is actually why I'm in college, as opposed to, oh, I'm in college, turn up. Like, no, like, you're paying for an education for a reason. So,
but you gotta also remember that people are just like, you know, coming in to university,
exactly.
like coming into college. You're like, oh, I can mess up in the beginning.
Right.
I can mess up. I still got like, you know, 3 other chances.
Right.
I can fail a class or 2.
Right.
But you don't realize that you could be on academic suspension for that.
For real.
And once you do that, it's a whole process of getting that back. It's
Right.
just too much to go through.
Right.
It's not worth it.
Right. So with that being said, speaking on academics, how do you feel that college is equipping you for the real world? Do you feel like your experiences are tying into you being ready to transition out of that environment and into an environment where it is more so, I would say, competition based, where you're going to be applying for jobs, you're going to be interviewing with some kids who have different academic standing than you, so they've gone to Ivy Leagues, they've gone to these different schools, and you going to an HBCU. So how do you feel college is equipping you for that?
Okay, I'm gonna have to answer this truthfully. As for me, since I am a bio major and I'm doing physical therapy, for me, Bowie State doesn't really equip me that well for physical therapy because we don't have a going the route of physical therapy.
Okay.
It's literally just, you know, take the bio classes that you need and then go off to graduate school.
And see, I agree with that. It's a lot of universities, they don't have that core core major, or it will be the university that you want to go to doesn't have the specific major that you're looking for, so you take something where I was sociology because they didn't have psychology in undergraduate. So because they didn't have psychology in undergraduate, I had to go ahead and just say, okay, well, let me go ahead and get my degree in sociology and then get my degree, go to a master's program. So it's things like that that's like, okay, kind of got to weigh it out.
Yeah, it's an if or
right.
But as far as that, like with me taking the class, like if I wanted to do researching, because I have done researching with my teacher, shout out to Dr. Osana, she's lit. If I wanted to get a job for researching, I would have like the requirements for that. I've done researching overseas, I've done researching in her labs. So I would be, if I wanted to do a career in that, I would be able to get a job. I'll be able to do that easily. But like as for physical therapy, you know, they have no, I can train with the trainer for the football team and for the basketball team at school, but it's like, it's not an intern. And I would have loved for that to be an internship because they would have been like, oh, you know.
It would have helped you with experience and things of that nature, which is amazing. So speaking on experience and speaking on internships and things like that, it's beautiful how all of this is just tying together. So Elizabeth had the opportunity to go actually overseas to Vietnam and then come back in the state and go to Minnesota.
Yes.
To finish up a very important internship, which she did research. So tell me how, first and foremost, the trip overseas to Vietnam, you feel kind of equipped you for just finishing out your major as a bio major, to, you know, do you feel like you're more, I would say, in tune with what you're going to be studying from here on out, or do you feel as though there was still some things that you should have known when you were there? So just tell me a little bit about, first of all, the experience over there, because I know it is a whole different culture over there. So
actually going over to Vietnam is a beautiful place. Let's just start off with that. It's beautiful. Certain people they do lack knowledge of certain things, so we're just gonna leave that at that. But no, it is a beautiful thing. Going over there, we were able to do certain things. You couldn't really go a lot of places because you're not in this, you're not in the country, you're not from the country.
Right.
So we needed like certain cops to come with us, certain security guards to come with us to do certain things. Like the government was like really trying to figure out why we were even there.
Okay.
So he was like, no, you can't do this, you can't do that, you have to take him, you have to take her. He was like, okay. But after that, everything was cool. We got to do that. As far as it equipping me for certain things, if I wanted to do researching, it better gave me knowledge of what I needed to do, how I would need to do certain things, like collecting data, packaging data, making sure that it's not contaminated, making sure that it's put away correctly, making sure that it's done, everything is put where it needs to be put, things are used where it needs to be used, because we did use the microscope, we did use the computer, we did set all our data on the computer, put in everything. Okay. Everything was fine. But as for, we didn't get to do amplifying. Amplifying our sequences. So once we collected the data, we then had to amplify them, and we never got to do that. We never got to use our PCRs. It was just a lot of things that, in the end, time winded down, and we couldn't do certain things. But other than that, everything else was lovely. Awesome. It was wonderful.
So I would say this. Let's get to, because I know it's a lot of young adults who are about to start their transition from home life to now college life. And I know it's a lot of them who have questions, who have anxieties, who really want to know. And I want to be as transparent with them as possible, where we share with them some much needed information. And I don't want it to be, because we both are and have been attendees of HBCUs.
Shout out.
I don't want to be biased to HBCUs, so I want to give overall just information and just a little bit of help to you all that are transitioning from that high school education to that college education. So I would say, number one, financial aid, they not here for you.
Sallie Mae is coming.
She
baby.
Coming with a vengeance, because nobody can seem to hack into her. Like, you're hacking into Netflix, you're hacking into Stars, you're hacking into HBO,
even Amazon.
You're hacking into everything but Sallie Mae. Like, she is the core enemy.
She ain't here for us, y'all.
She's not. But you know what? I serve a good God. So with that being said, I'm gonna find a way to pay off this student loan debt. So do you have anything that you want to say, any advice that you want to give the kids?
Join an organization.
Yes. And why do you think it's very important? I'll give my thing after you give your reasoning behind it.
Organizations, they prep you for they prep you for a lot of things. They prep you for the real world. You learn how to talk to people. You learn how to respect people on a whole different level. You learn things about yourself, what you can do, what you can't do. You learn you as an individual. Also, it'll take you far in life for what you want to do. Because even SGA, being an SGA president, being the school president in general, you learn what you're able to do, what you can't do, what things they'll let you do at that too. So, and once you go on to something else, you find a career that you really want to do that you did the same thing for already. So
I would say join an organization based upon my experience. I went to school in the boondocks, like nothing anywhere. So it's like joining an organization kind of gets you prepared for your surroundings. It gets you comfortable with your surroundings, so that you're not just sitting in your dorm room or your apartment and saying, and you're on Twitter, it's nothing ever to do here. Well, are you in an organization? That's the first question that they always ask at my school. If you go in at my school, they will say, okay, well, are you in an organization? Because we all know, if you're in an organization, you don't have time to be bored, because we're always throwing stuff. It's always a party. It's always an event. Because that's just what you do as an organization. You make sure that you keep your organization booming and popping by what? Remaining known. So being in an organization helps you to really, like Liz said, it helps you to learn different individuals, and then it helps you to learn that, and this is my other point, that not everybody was raised like you was raised.
Lord Jesus.
Okay?
That's the truth.
Everyone does not have the same
upbringing,
skill set as you. Everyone does not have the same sense as you. So with you saying, oh, that's common sense, why did such and such do that? Common sense ain't common. So
can we say that one more time?
Common sense ain't common. So
Listen.
what you may know not to do or to do, you can't look at it as my mom and my dad raised such and such too. My household is not going to be like the other person's household. So with that being said, just to simplify it out, just try to give people the benefit of the doubt.
You know what it is? Patience.
Yeah.
You get patience.
You have to have
Lord Jesus.
patience. I'm sorry we clapping after every word, but
that's all the stress.
Shout out to
that
Kelly
you
from
do.
Insecure.
Listen.
But for real, you have to have patience. You have to understand that, listen, Kevin and Tessie, shout out to my mom and my dad.
That's my parents too.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Stephanie, shout out to my stepmama.
Hey, Mom.
Did not raise y'all, so maybe they were not gifted
Yeah.
the morals and values that I was, just so lucky to have and so blessed to have growing up. So with that being said, just be patient with one another and just try to see things in a different light, in a different perspective. And I feel as though that kind of lessens the load and kind of levels the playing field, where you all now can create a sense of dialogue between your differences and maybe become friends. So that's my other little bit of advice for y'all. Anything else, Liz?
Yes, actually, I got two other things. Like what she was saying with the whole being on two different frequencies. If you're on two different frequencies, you ain't getting nowhere.
It's like this.
Yeah, somebody all the way over there, you down there. Don't work.
With all this static, we got static.
But other than that, I mean, you will form a friendship out of that. You will form brotherhood, sisterhood out of that.
Right.
And it's lovely when you see people coming together. People can do things
Right.
together.
Definitely.
It's wonderful.
Definitely. Definitely.
And then on top of that, I know y'all are probably like, why is she doing researching if she's doing physical therapy? The reason why I wanted
You
to
gotta
do
research with everything.
Yeah, you do, but I did want to do researching and physical therapy. I
Okay.
wanted to do them at the same time. So I was going to probably, when I went to grad school, I was going to do both. But then I was like, researching ain't for me. So it's just physical therapy, y'all.
And that's also what college is about, y'all. Like, you find yourself in there.
You really do.
Like, you think you want to be a veterinarian, and then you turn around and you like, I think I want to be a music teacher.
That's not
Like, for real. It was some times where I legit was like, I don't know why I'm doing sociology. I should have changed my major to child development because I love children, and I found that out the deeper I got into school, the deeper I would just fall more in love. They had a child development center for the children of the staff there, and for the kids who went there, or for, I keep saying kids, but for the students.
Yeah.
So I would pass by them because I had to pass by the child development center to get to my apartment, and I'm telling you, I would see those little babies play outside on the playground, and I would just die. I would be like, hi, hi.
No, she really will do that.
How are you?
She really will.
I'm Kirsten. What's your... And they wouldn't even pay me the time of day, but I'm telling you, like, the more I fell in love with them, I knew that my major wasn't for me. However, I liked the knowledge base that my major gave me. I liked how it gave me a different perspective in looking at everyone's background, everyone's economical background, and the hierarchy of needs and things like that. So I stuck to it because I really love researching, and I really love looking at people in different facets of their life, right? So
it's trials and error.
Right. And I feel
Learning
like that's all your undergrad is going to be. Trial and error.
Them two things right there.
Right. Thank you so much, Liz.
Thank you for having me. Yes.
For coming in and talking to me, and thank you for being on my channel. I appreciate it so much. Y'all look out for her. She will definitely be in so many different videos coming to pass.
Yes. Yes, all the information is definitely going to be down below.
Down below if you want to see where she got her hair, if you want to see where she got the hat,
Yes.
if you want to see where she got her shirt, or maybe even her choker,
You know, because
all of that is down below in the detail box, as well as her social medias.
yes, I do make wigs. Holla at me.
Holla, holla, holla. So thank you all again so much for watching.
Thank you for having me.
It's your girl, Kirsten T. Jackson, back at it again. And I can't wait to see you all for another installment of Wednesday Wisdom. Love you all so much. Be blessed.